Is it me or did February just fly by? Because we are back already. The numbers are in, and we have our market report for the February Tampa Bay real estate market. Let's go. What is going on, YouTube? If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back to the Living in Tampa Bay channel. I am your host, Shandon Kiah, your trusted real estate advisor for the Tampa Bay area. With the way things kicked off in January, if you saw my last video, I said the market is going to be extremely dynamic this year. A lot of ups and downs, fluctuation between interest rates and average sales prices, inventory, and everything in between. And that is proving true as we near the end of February, and we're going to jump right into it right now. But before we do so, I want to remind you that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams of moving here, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your business and help you make your transition here as smooth as possible. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you can get in touch. And please don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you're new here, please go down, like, comment, hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. Now, without further ado, let's jump into these numbers. Before I start rattling off a bunch of data, I think it's important to note that I pull my data from my local MLS that services Central Florida. I cover 3 key metrics of data, which is going to be your active inventory, your average days to sell, which is from list to close, and your average sale price, encompassing all residential properties, single family between 1 and 4 units, townhomes, and condos. And I, of course, cover the 4 major counties of Tampa Bay, which are going to be Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Manatee. So, first up on our list, as usual, is Hillsborough County with an active inventory of 6,292 properties, taking an average of 78 days to sell, both increases from what we saw last month, and an average sale price of $492,064, a decrease from what we saw in January. Next up is Pinellas County with an active inventory of 7,891 properties, taking an average of 79 days to sell, and an average sale price of $679,924. All 3 increases from what we saw a month ago, significant ones at that. Third is Pasco County with an active inventory of 4,555 properties, taking an average of 76 days to sell, both increases from a month ago, and an average sale price of $356,525, a decrease from what we saw last month. And lastly, we have Manatee County with an active inventory of 4,968 properties, taking an average of 98 days to sell, and an average sale price, surprisingly, of $598,445, all 3 increases from what we saw in January. Now, what do we make of this? Typically, these videos, it's kind of me regurgitating the same stuff over and over again. Property sitting on the market longer, more inventory than we've seen in a really long time. But that doesn't seem to be the case this time around. You can see quickly that Pinellas and Manatee counties followed the same exact trend with significant increases in all 3 categories. What I'm curious about, though, is how can we have increased inventory, homes sitting on the market longer than they ever have, and yet such huge rises in property values in just 1 month time span? Pinellas County, an increase of over $60,000 in average home value. Now, I would like to say that there's a ton of luxury new construction being developed across St. Petersburg, especially within Pinellas County, but I'm not sure if that's pulling the average up or if prices in that $600,000 to $750,000 range are just hitting the market and selling quicker than the others are. As for Manatee County, approaching almost 100 days to get from list to close is absolutely frightening, but they're somehow still seeing an increase in property values, which typically would be contrasting each other. However, as we know, there's a lot of old money in Manatee County, and there's several developing and emerging neighborhoods as well, like Ellington, and then you have the new construction capitals of Palmetto and Parrish as well. So I think there's definitely some new construction, new builds coming into play, pulling that average up there, and maybe that's why we're seeing an increase since our last report from a month ago. Now, funny enough, Hillsborough and Pasco followed the same exact trend as well. They both have increased inventory, increased days on market, and lessening values. Though the decreases in values weren't significant, it's still indicative that the more homes that are on the market, the longer they sit, the less they're going to sell for. And I think that's the trend we're seeing across those two counties. I thought it may have been from just my personal experience, but the consensus seems to be pretty much from across the bay from some of my vendor partners and other agents is that things are just a little bit stagnant right now. You have some people who are waiting for interest rates to drop even more, even though we just had a significant drop. We're well below the 6%. And you would think that would bring a lot of people into the market, especially buyers. But it seems that sellers took advantage of this or tried to take advantage of this by listing their property on the market, hoping that buyer activity would ramp up. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. I'm still a very fond believer that the main issue we have here in the Tampa Bay area is that the property values are simply too inflated and the wages just don't match what properties go for in this area. It is incredibly difficult to afford a home in the neighborhood you want within your price range with all the other criteria that people look for when purchasing a home. And I think that has made it even more increasingly difficult, not only for buyers, but for sellers as well, who have life changes and need to make the sale happen. And people just can't come to terms because at the end of the day, if you can't afford it, you're not going to buy it. And sellers who may be in a tough financial situation or are being forced to move or relocate because of work, they're in a tight position as well because their home just isn't selling for what they need it to. I'll give you an example of one of my clients that we closed just a few weeks ago. This specific client wanted to buy a bigger home for her growing family and needed to sell her home first in order to do so. Well, we priced the property aggressively from the start and we got several offers within the first couple weeks. We went under contract within the first less than 30 days actually, and we probably could have closed within 30 to 35 days, but the buyer's lender actually dropped the ball and gave us a slew of missed deadlines and all other nonsense, but we pushed through it and ended up closing a little later than we would have liked, but we did make it happen. And I use this example because my client, the seller, actually her numbers were really, really tight, and she had a very specific criteria in the home she was looking to purchase. But with negotiations and structuring the deal on both sides, the sell and buy side, we were able to pull it off. So I'll conclude by saying this. If you are a buyer, I would maybe not wait on interest rates to drop like everyone else, because now is the time where there's a ton of inventory for you to choose from. Not many people are attacking these properties, and this could be a good chance for you to make offers on the property you like in the neighborhood you want to be in and not have to compete against multiple offers. And if you are a seller, the data is showing us that properties are sitting on the market longer, and I, like I said, believe that a big part of it is because these homes are listed too high in price. So if you're going to list your property within this upcoming spring season, price it aggressively as soon as you list it. Don't count on having to do multiple price reductions to find that sweet spot for buyers to want to put in an offer. Now, I know this data and these market reports can be a little bit boring, so I want to give you guys a little bit of value for sticking around this long. If you are seeing this video from the outside and don't currently live in the Tampa Bay area or Florida, I want to offer you my free guide to relocating to the Tampa Bay area. I actually have one for both Tampa and St. Pete, and I'm going to drop the link to both of those in the description of this video. All you have to do is copy and paste those into your search bar, and it'll take you straight to the PDF completely free. My clients moving out of state have found this very helpful because it breaks down both some of the neighborhoods in both cities and things to do, so you can kind of structure and decide what kind of lifestyle and neighborhoods you want to move into, or based on your lifestyle, the neighborhoods that are going to be fit for you and your family. And for my sellers, if you're thinking about selling your property, don't just boom, put it on the market right away. There's things you should be doing to get the property market ready, and I have all of that structured inside my sold playbook, which I'm going to offer you completely free as well. I'll also drop the link to that in the description of this video. Same thing, copy and paste it. It'll take you to the PDF completely free. Using that as an example I just spoke about, it has a lot of helpful tips for not only preparing the property for the market, but once it's listed, the kind of marketing and pricing strategies we can use to start getting you offers as soon as possible and get you moving on into the next chapter of your life. Before I head out, I want to remind you guys I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have those real estate goals, questions, or dreams about moving here, or you're looking to relocate to the Tampa Bay area, or you have a property to sell, or you have PCS orders to move to MacDill Air Force Base, I would be honored to help you facilitate all of those moving parts. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen one more time so you can get in touch. And do not hesitate to reach out, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. I'll be seeing you soon on the next video. Peace.